All right, course 2 kiddos, this is lesson 97, similar triangles and indirect measure. We use a tick mark to indicate congruent angles, right? So here, look at this one, it's bigger. So A is congruent to Z, B is congruent to Y. So we have one tick mark, 2, 2. See how that works? Ta-la! Okay, so corresponding angles in this would be angle A and Z, B and Y, and C and X. Corresponding sides would be AB and ZY, BC and YX, and AC or CA and XZ. Okay? That's pretty easy. The lengths of corresponding sides of similar triangles are proportional. This is why we've been working with proportions so long, because we're going to be using them and all of these other things. This means that ratios formed by corresponding sides are equal. All right, what? Okay, watch. Place corresponding sides as ratios. So 6 to 3, or I could do 5 to 10, or I could do 8 to 4, right? All of these equal 2 if I reduce them. They would all equal 2. Or do it the other way, go this way, 3 to 6, 5 to 10, or 4 to 8, and all of those ratios equal a half. So they are proportional. Yes? Yeah, I think you can get it. All right, flip the page, me. All right, so let's look. Example number 1. It says, find length of A. Well, I know they're proportional, right? So I'm going to set up a proportion box type thing. I'm going to use 2 I know and 1 that I know and 1 I don't know. So 6 is to 10 as 3 is to A. Cross multiply 6A equals 30, and A divides 6 into 30 equals 5. So this side would equal 5. Now that I have this, I could even find this one, right? I could find this over here if I had to. So now let's say they want to know this size. Well, now that I have this, I can say, all right, well, 3 is to 5. 3 is to 5 as 3 is to 5 as 5 is to x. So I would have 3x equals 25, and I'm going to get a weird number, but that's all right. X would equal 8. And then you would have 1 left over, 0.333333, 8.3. Okay, so I'm just showing you can do that. They didn't ask for that because, see, it's a weird number, but you can. So now remember, the other part was indirect measure. You're going to get a lot of problems like this, trust me. So indirect measure. For example, the lengths of the shadows cast by 2 objects are proportional to the heights of the 2 objects that are making those shadows, assuming they're in the same location. So here, I have this big tree, and it's casting this long shadow, and then this little girl, Beth, who looks like a stick figure, and she's casting a shorter shadow. Well, if I made these into triangles, this angle would correspond to this angle. Secret word, by the way, shadow. I know, kind of spooky. Secret word, write it down. All right, so think of 2 triangles, right? So what I do know is I know that Beth is 5 feet tall, because it told me that in the book. So she was 5 feet tall. And I don't know how tall the tree is. I don't know how tall the tree is. And it told me that her shadow was 6 feet long. And it told me the tree shadow was 30 feet long. All right, so now I have these 2 triangles. So I can say 5 is to 6, the height of me to my shadow. 5 is to 6 as, I don't know, is to 30, or the height of the tree. All right, so we're going to just put it in a proportion. 5 is to this tree as 6 is to 30. My shadows, my people, my shadows. So I have 6ht equals 150. Divide 150 by 6, and you have the height of the tree is 25 feet. Yes? Okay, let's do some more. Here we go. To indirectly measure the height of a telephone pole, the shadow was measured. All right, so we have this pole. The shadow measured 24 feet. A meter stick, which is 100 centimeters, made a 40 centimeter shadow. All right, so I have these two things. Sun is in the same place, casting shadows. So I'm going to make a ratio box. So I have 100 centimeters, because that's what this is, remember? 100 centimeters casts a 40 centimeter shadow, so the height of the pole casts a 24-foot shadow. What's the height of the pole? So I'm going to cross cancel and divide. I got 100 over h. Okay, so cross cancel. So you got 40 HP equals 2400. 40 goes into 2400 60 times, so 60 feet. How did we get feet? Aha! We had 100 centimeters over 40. Okay, so this is what we did. We took 40 centimeters times the height of the pole equals 24 feet times 100 centimeters. Divide that by 40. Get rid of those centimeters, and all you have left is feet. So we did a little unit multiplier there. Example 3. Brad is 5 feet tall. His shadow is 3 feet. The flagpole is how tall? The flagpole shadow is 24 feet. So, 5, that's how tall I am, is to, I don't know how tall the flagpole is. My shadow is 3 feet. The flagpole's shadow is 24 feet. So 5 is to x, as 3 is to 24. Object, object, shadow, shadow. So cross multiply, 3x equals 120. Divide that, x equals 40 feet. So the telephone pole is 40 feet. Is this making sense? If not, we'll talk about it more in class. Let's do some examples here. Practice set. All right, so first it wants to know, can you name the corresponding sides and angles? Well, let's do the sides first. So y, w, put this for my line, corresponds to q, r. WX and RP. So I'm going to WX, RP, and the last one YX, YX, and QP. Oh, QP. Now what are my angles? Well, angle Y here corresponds to angle Q. This makes sense, right? W and R, and X and P. Okay, sometimes the questions will be that easy. Now I want to know what the measure of X is. So I'm going to use any one of, well, actually, that's how I have to do it. So I can do 6 is to 9 as X is to 12. Okay, I'm going to do that. 6 is to 9 as X is to 12. So I'm going to get 9X equals 72. X equals 7. No, 6. No, 8. Oh, Mrs. Van Zalen, you're awesome. Okay, so X equals 8. So now I know this, because my next question is going to be, okay, now find Y. Oh, my goodness. All right, so X is 8. So now I'm going to do, I can do any one of them. So I think I will do 8 is to 12. 8 is to 12. 8 is to 12 as y, at 12 is to Y. All right, so cross multiply. I have 8y equals 144. Divide 8 into 144. Goes in there once. You get an 8, you get a 6, you get a 4, 8. So y is 18. Ding, 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 ding. See? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, the next one they give you the height and the shadow. We got a tree and a 6-foot pole, but we want to know how tall that tree is. So here's my formula right here. I don't know how tall, over 6 feet tall, and I have an 18-foot shadow to a 9-foot shadow. I guess I don't have to put my feet there. So I'm going to cross multiply. I get 9x equals, well, 18 times 6 is what? I don't know, 108. So then x equals 1, 2, equals 12. So the tree would be 12 feet tall. So I go back and look, well, what are my measurements? Feet. All right, I'm going to stick them on there. Okay, quickly. No practice set. Here is your problem set. 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14. Have that done. 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, and check it. 25, 26, 27, and 29. That's it. I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.